Welcome back to my channel. Before I pick my TBR, I would like to talk about one of the reading trackers in my reading journal. My genre tracker is one of the trackers I failed to keep up with, but I came up with a really good solution for keeping up with this tracker and other trackers in my reading journal. Besides putting the genres in my book reviews, the solution I came up with is StoryGraph. I recently updated my StoryGraph and realized I can use StoryGraph for my trackers. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, so if I keep my StoryGraph updated, I'm hoping it will help me update last year's trackers and keep my next reading journal trackers updated as well. Last thing that I wanted to mention is I still have some reviews to add, but I know I'll still have extra pages in the back of this journal. I wanted to use them somehow, but the only thing I could come up with is to use them as some of my 2025 reading journal pages. Now, on to picking my TBR. This is my first time picking my TBR like this, and I'm so excited. So first up is my yearly TBR bowl. I made a new yearly TBR with like 30-ish books on it, and I wrote them out and put them in this. Next is my overall TBR bowl. I made these in the middle of the year and only recently placed them in here. This is my A to Z challenge box. I made this at the end of last year and never got to use it, so hopefully I will this year. This is my prompt chart that I've had for a while, but barely used. It's full of prompts that I came up with and that I got from other booktubers. Last is my TBR jar, which I've had the longest. I decorated it and put books in it when I first got back into reading, but recently took those out and replaced them with other books. I have other ones like a seasonal TBR, but I forgot it, so it will be in the next TBR video if it gets chosen. I'm ready to see what I'll be reading for the month of January, so let's get started. I'm going to pull up my wheel app on my iPad, give it a nice long spin, and see what it lands on, and I'll choose from whatever is chosen. Okay, so this is my wheel. It has 27 things that I can land on. Some of the things on the wheel includes cat pick, blind pick, and finish a book. I can't wait to see what it lands on. I'm only going to do 3 spins because at the end of last month, I was in no reading mood. It was probably a reading slump, so I wanted to just pick 3 books. Plus, I still need to pick a Buzzwordathon and a Read Your Bookshelf pick. So, I'll probably do 3 every month. It landed on yearly TBR. Time to pick my first book. I made this last month, but I don't remember what's on my yearly TBR, so I'm not really hoping for a specific book. Let's mix it and switch it around a bit. The first book that has gotten chosen is The Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker. I am quite happy with my first book pick. I don't remember the synopsis fully, but I remember it sounded really interesting. Time for the second spin. It landed on recommended by Pinterest. There's a couple ways that I could do this, but the first thing that came up was a book, and it's a book I want to read, so I think I'll go with that. The book that came up is There's No Way I Die First by Lisa Springer. Considering this was my first time choosing a book this way, I'm surprised and happy it was easy. I thought that I would have had a hard time picking a book via Pinterest. It probably won't be that easy every time, and I don't think I want to do it the same way every time either. Okay, time for the last spin. It landed on anticipated releases, which I have a hard time getting to. Choosing was tough. I don't have any anticipated releases for 2025 coming out in January, and even if I did, the year only just started. So it would have had to have been a book that came out later this month. But even so, I would have had to probably put it on hold. So I'm choosing an anticipated release from a previous year. It was tough because I felt like I didn't know what book to choose. But as I'm scrolling, I realized I'm looking for a specific book. I'm trying to mess with Goodreads to see if I can come across it. I found the book I was looking for. Going over the books that I will hopefully read this month that got chosen, firstly is The Scarlet Alchemist. Second is There's No Way I Die First. And the last one is Drown Me with Dreams. Out of the three, I've only read from the author of this book. I'm really excited to read these. This book was in the back of my brain last year, but I never got around to reading it. And after reading the first, I couldn't wait till the second one came out. I don't know how I didn't get to it. And I think I'm ready to finally read a book after taking off a week from reading any books and watching one Spanish show and binging back-to-back K-dramas. I hope to do this again because it was fun. Lastly, Happy New Year. My World of Books, signing off.